So I figured I would make a video showing the large Parrot aviary that I've been working on for really the past couple of years. It's been really kind of a giant work in progress, but just to show kind of what I've done and you know, maybe give some other people out there some ideas. So for starters, we'll look at so I have two macaws in here, a green wing, a blue and gold, a eclectus, and an Amazon. So for starters, this is the secondary safety entrance. You can see we have a hose in there. It actually connects up potentially to this, which provides water for a misting system above these cages to provide them a little bit of extra enrichment type rain. I also have some giant tortoises currently sitting in quarantine over here. Some other features that I've include a bunch of electric that I've wired in, including some light switches and stuff to provide some extra lighting if you're here at night. So this whole footprint of the aviary is about 20 by 20 feet. It's kind of split down the middle. So we have one cage that's about 10 by 20 feet for these pair of macaws, as well as a couple of pheasants that you can see in the bottom over there. And then in this run, I have one hanging cage for the Amazon, and then this cage is 10 by, I think about 10 by 15 or so, with another hanging cage in it as well. So you'll notice that I have a skirt running around the entirety of the pen. There's also wire underneath all of these pens to prevent anything from digging in or, you know, out. So here's another one of the hanging cages with a female eclectus in it who's inside the night house. And then I've also built in this night house. So the night house provides heated shelter for these guys in the winter. We're in Florida, so it's not like it's terribly cold, but I still like the idea of providing them that. So these switches control linear actuators that open and close the shift doors. These switches aren't armed until this light inside the building is turned on, and this ensures that you're taking a look inside the building and making sure that there are no parrots currently in here or sitting in the doorway where the door could potentially injure them. I also have this domed mirror here, so again you can see kind of from all angles to make sure that the building itself is kind of clear. And then these switches here operate these doors. So I have 4 cages. I have 4 cages in total. We have the 2 hanging cages and then the 2 larger ones, and they connect up to 4 cages in here, each with its own linear actuator based door. And so based on that, we can open and close them as we see fit. Typically it's just in times of kind of colder weather. So in the summer, it obviously gets way too hot in this shed for any bird to, you know, comfortably occupy. So in the summer, we would just close all these doors, and then in, like, you know, the winter or kind of cooler weather, we'll open it up and let them have access. So you can see there's a thermostat here which connects up to individual heaters above the cages. Sorry, it's a little, yeah, you can kind of see some inside. I'll show you inside the shed as well, but this is just the user interface where so, you know, I wanted to make a system that a potential employee could use without you know, basically making it not automated but close to automated. So every food dish, every control mechanism, no matter what, it's all accessible from the outside of the cage, so you never actually have to go inside the cage with the animal. So potentially we could have someone take care of these animals if we're out of town without having to worry about, you know, their own safety if they're not as familiar with working with these individual animals. So all the food hoppers are, again, accessible from the outside of the cage. There are cutouts from for them to access the food dishes, and then these rotate out. And again, this is set up in a way where for the smaller parrots, we have a larger grate here, so a smaller grate, so they can't actually get out. So, you know, again, if you were to accidentally leave this open, if you were to forget to lock it, the bird is not going to be at risk of climbing out of the cage. So here are the other 2 boys. So we'll pop into this cage for just a second. So the first thing about parrots is that they are extremely messy, as you can see with all this food that they've thrown on the ground. They just randomly decide sometimes they, you know, aren't eating the red color pellets one day or whatever else color they pick. So then they throw it on the ground and that's where the pheasants come in. So these are a pair of golden pheasants and they do a really good job of aviary cleanup. So they are a little skittish, but they come over here and they eat all this food that parrots have lovingly cast upon the ground. And because of that, we really don't have as much of a rat problem that we probably would otherwise have. You know, this is basically a never-ending rat buffet, and so the pheasants do a really good job of cleaning it up and making sure there's not any food to attract any unwanted pests. All right. So let's go to the other side. So this is again kind of the aviary from a front view. So we have a lot of you know, untreated 2x4s to make kind of a rudimentary tree structure, and then we have the ability to swap out. So I have these kind of branch holders here. So I have a bunch of bamboo that grows on the property and I'll swap out branches for them every couple of weeks. And you know, it's a really good thing for them to just tear up. You can see I have some hanging toys for them. They really enjoy stripping the bark off of pine trees. So we'll refresh these hanging logs every once in a while for them to subsequently destroy. And then this is the heated night shelter. So again, the linear actuator based doors are not powered unless this light is on here. And you can see all of the heating devices that are above these cages for them hooked up to the thermostat and the control panel over there. So there are 4 cages. We have 2 on the ends for the smaller hanging cages, and then 2 larger for the larger aviary runs. There you can kind of see the linear actuator based setup, which lifts this shift door to block this entrance when the doors are up or down. And then we also have these pull out trays to be able to clean the bottom of these cages for easy access. Hey. There's the blue fronted Amazon. And yeah, they seem to make the larger macaws are a little bit shy about, you know, making more general use of the shelter, but the smaller parrots definitely use it a lot and seem to enjoy it quite a bit. And you know, some of the larger macaws will take a go at it from time to time. You can see Andre's coming over here to say hello, and honestly probably to tell me to back off his boyfriend. Hey. Hey, bud. Alright, I think that shows most of the features of this aviary. I hope maybe it's given some people some ideas, who knows. All of this I have custom built from extruded aluminum. If I were to do this whole thing again, and by whole thing I mean the aviary itself, it took me a long time to find the right type of wire and really the right type of thing that I wanted to build the cages out of. So for the larger cages themselves, I use these dog kennel panels, which are fine, other than the fact that these holes are so big that you're really limited on the amount of, or the type of animals you can keep in these. And this also does provide access for smaller native birds, which could provide some pathogen risks that I don't really like. So if I were to do this again, I would actually build this custom out of, not out of these panels, but out of probably more extruded aluminum and the various types of wire mesh. At the time, again, I was really struggling to find a source of those types of materials. So that's how I change it in the future, but for the time being, this really does provide a nice shelter for them. The other thing too is you're limited on the height of these panels. These panels are 6 foot, and you know, ideally I'd like something to provide them a little bit more vertical space. So again, if I were to do it again, it would be a cage that I would custom build myself, and not so much rely on these kennel panels. Yeah, I think that's it.